Yo, it's LA's Home for Hip Hop. Real 92.3, man. Bootleg Kev. It's the real after party. Sit next to me. Good friend of mine, man. We go back, man. The homie Titty Boy, a.k.a. 2 Chainz. What's up, bro?
Yeah, what's happening, my boy?
Hey, man. Everybody's waiting for this album, June 16th. Pretty Girls Like Trap Music.
Yeah, a couple more weeks away. I think I know it'd be worth the wait. I put a lot of, blood, sweat, and tears. I know this is something that is said through all artists, but
of course,
I just felt it like over the last 18 to 24 months, I really changed my channel of thinking, my attitude towards life. I took a moment to absorb what I've accomplished as a human being, as a father, as a hit maker in the industry. And I think this album will really capture. It'd be like a time capsule for the summer of 2017. This is like this is what's going on. When people go back and look or listen, it'll be nostalgic of 2017, that summer.
Talk about what exactly did you adjust as far as your mind frame and your thought process, because you've always been an extremely insightful individual, an extremely strategic guy.
Yeah.
What did because the last, I was telling you before the mics came on, the last really kicking off to 2016 with the album with Wayne, and then the 2 tapes. You've kind of been on a tear, man.
Yes, sir.
But how did you adjust your thought process?
For me, I come from a sports background.
Right.
People know that basketball is,
Of course,
still my first love. And when I played basketball, something that I noticed about myself early in my life period, whether it was recreation, high school, whatever, I would play according to competition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I say that, it's like I would show up for big games. I couldn't wait for big games. But if it was somebody that wouldn't challenge me in any kind of way, or if I didn't feel challenged, then I would kind of play around. I would almost play with my offhand or just do silly things.
It's almost like when the best teams lose to, the worst. It's like, yo, man, it's like like people take off on the course at times.
Yeah, so my thinking is like, Slick had implemented that in rap, but I knew it, but I didn't know it. For instance, like, say for instance, if I had to do a song with Katy Perry, I wouldn't probably give her the bars that I would do for Kanye or Drake. You know what I'm saying?
Or like a Mercy or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Then I wouldn't. It's just, so that's a
Back
little
then.
bit, yeah, because I'd be like, well, I don't have to go so hard. This is a, pop track or
Right,
EDM track or blah, blah, blah. Like, not really understanding, like, music is so universal. I'm just really, I'd be concerned with listeners. And it's like that sometimes with, like, how I dress. It's like, are we doing a show for 14,000 or 40,000? Because I got to fit.
You got the 40,000 fit.
I got 2 different outfits for the look. You know what I'm saying? And so now it don't matter who looking. It don't matter who listening. You got to get it. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand where this came from, where all this stuff came from, and where it's going. So that's
What inspired that? Because, like, obviously, man, I feel like you had a run that really rivals nobody as far as that, like, 2-year period where you was on every single song. I mean, you, literally, man, every feature you was on. You had the hottest features. Between True Religion dropping and then the debut album Boats and then Boats 2, it was kind of like I almost was afraid as a fan and as a homie of yours, like, I didn't want you to, like, oversaturate the market and people kind of take it. I think people took advantage of 2 Chainz verses.
No, they did. I have a list of people who, what do we call them? Swap outs.
Right.
I got a lot of people that, owe me for swap outs, and who knows if I ever would use them. But it's probably a rough estimate is probably I have maybe 30 to 40 swaps on the table.
I feel like Boats 2, from a fan's perspective, it didn't, like, live up to the first album.
Most definitely.
I think that from there, obviously, you still continue to put out a ton of music. But I feel like there's, like you said, man, there's been like somebody lit a fire in the tits ass, and it's been insane, man, since the beginning of 2016. For this album, is it kind of like, because really this is, I mean, we've been waiting 3 or 4 years for this album?
Yeah, I think I
mean, we got tons of music from you, but we've been waiting for your third album for a long time.
Yeah.
Was it like kind of frustrating to, because like I said, man, you had that time period where you were that dude, and then there was that other time period where you were kind of chilled out, and then I feel like you kind of picked up again last year. Was it kind of, did you have to kind of reevaluate yourself as an artist and kind of figure out, there's new guys that come and go, but you kind of always stayed around.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm an influencer.
Oh, 100%.
I'm someone that can go get a half a ticket, a whole ticket for sitting in a soda commercial. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm somebody that can.
You're a household name at this
I
point.
can
My
do
grandma knows who you are.
Online that people may not even see, and still take care of my family. So that's not the thing with me. It's about knowing who I am. See, people look in the mirror and they got some kind of false sense of who they are. When I look in the mirror, I can see who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. I know where I came from. I know that no matter what age or what date it is, that I have not reached my peak. I still have room to grow. I know this. I don't believe in a glass ceiling. I don't believe in this style, that style. I welcome all the new artists, all the young and upcoming artists. It's actually enough money out here for everybody.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And as long as you're entertaining, I feel like I'm one of the best entertainers. I never said I was the best rapper.
You're an underrated rapper,
yeah.
though. You're extremely underrated when those discussions happen.
Yeah. But my peers know and respect.
100%.
The fans may have cloudy judgment, cloudy eyesight, but my rap peers, or I wouldn't have done one with everybody in the industry. Like they wouldn't have paid or asked me to get on the track. Like I said on the song, you may not like me, but your favorite rapper has a verse from me. So
that's the God's honest truth right there.
Mm-hmm.
What is the situation with good music? Because obviously, Cruel Summer was a movie. I think you had the standout verses on that project. I know it's always family. Like for example, did Donda handle the artwork on the new album? Or
no, actually the new artwork was done by Trouble Andrews. He, as an artist who had a lot to do with the resurgence of Gucci, ready to wear like all the Gucci stuff you see, Gucci Ghosts, with all the. A lot of the designs for last year was cultivated by bro, and then like to me that sparked Gucci's culture. I've been wearing Gucci since I said in duffel bag boys walking in the Gucci store, honey, I'm home. So that was one of the things I really rock with, and so me and being somebody that feels like he's a fashionista, that, what I mean, like I gotta be the trench guy. I gotta be, I gotta be the guy that. I'm spinning these racks. You got to know what I'm wearing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be kicking that logo, whole lingo. You know what I mean? And so I met somebody that was a like-minded individual. You know what I mean? And normally with my albums, like Virgil will help me, who runs Off-White and all that. So we still discussed. We still had our conversations. But I linked up with a real cool dude, and I'm very happy about the album cover. It's actually fire. It's a pink trap house, and I feel like that should really be a symbol of pretty girls like trap music. It was just a thought that I had.
It's true though, man.
I feel like pink is like a serious symbol for women. Like I feel like men can obviously wear pink, but when you like have kids, they like for the little girls' room to be pink. They
right.
When you talk about something sad, like even breast cancer is pink. When you talk about Avon or whatever it is dealing with a woman, a lot of times it's pink and it's flowers, it's pretty. And then with the trap house, that's me. That's that mud. That's that gutter. That's that 100%. Trench. So I wanted to combine them. I wanted to make like a beautiful trap house, you know what I mean? That's what the cover is.
You got crazy features on the album. I saw you got one with Nicki, and you and Nicki got classics together, man. Word up.
And we got another one on there too.
The Travis record is crazy. What was the one feature on the project that was that you were when you got it back? you know, you were the most satisfied with, that you were like, yes, this is
The ones you just named, the Nicki one and the Travis, I was very, very happy. I was happy about all of them. I don't want to downplay anybody who did anything for me on the album. I feel like it was well put together project.
Were you in the studio with Travis when you guys recorded that, or was it kind of?
No, it wasn't.
Who did you actually get in with? Because I know, you know, it's 2017. Nobody really kind of gets in anymore. It's more like, yo, let me email
I
this
got
to you.
in on Vibe with Ty. I got in.
Okay.
I got in with Travis. I go in with a lot of people. It's just the final product. Sometimes the final product
That makes the album might not be that.
Yeah. But I was in with Nicki. You know, I'm in with a lot of people. You do the email stuff when like both parties are busy, and hopefully you're working with someone who's busy who ain't got time.
You don't want nobody who ain't got it. Yeah, just sitting on the
so
couch.
it's like, bro, like I'm on tour. Like I get it, you know, but the fact that you still work on tour, you might kind of brother, you might kind of sister. Send it off.
Make it happen.
I would do the same thing. I did a bunch of, you know, what Bees in the Trap. I did Bands and Make a lot of songs that people sent me when I was hot. I was on tour, but I remember I had a studio on my bus, so I was able to work and get it right back to them.
Yo, I heard, you know, everyone's talking about Kanye going to Wyoming to work on an album. I know he's working on a new project. Have you been in with Ye lately?
Nah, I hadn't talked to him in over a month, maybe over 2 months. I hadn't talked to him.
It's been a while since you talked to him.
Yeah.
Was he in good spirits last time you guys talked?
He definitely was.
That's good to know, man. That's definitely
Definitely
good
was
to know.
cracking jokes.
Yo, talk about, like, you know, because obviously, man, you have a journey that's kind of unique in this hip hop game, as far as coming from Players Circle and then, you know, that cooling out, and then kind of being mishandled, and then, you know, you breaking off on your own, and the rest is history. The transition from Titty Boy to 2 Chainz, and now we're here. But talk about there's this new resurgence of, I don't want to say resurgence, but there's this new wave of Atlanta artists, because Atlanta's never gone anywhere. But there's, you know, the Little Yachty's and shout out to Migos, who's on the project too. You got Quavo on one song and the Migos on another song, right?
Yeah.
All these guys, man, are really kind of setting the tone for the culture right now. Is there some advice you would give to them? Because you've, you know, been in that position where you were the hottest, newest guy out. And not even necessarily the newest, but new to the mainstream
No, I
artists.
definitely know where you're going.
But what is some advice you'd give to like somebody like Little Yachty, who's gets a lot of people are just shitting on Yachty for, you know.
You know, like I said, if you can come up with something legal that can feed your family, you know, more power to you. To any up and coming artist or producer in Atlanta, because Atlanta, you got to understand that we touch a lot of the music that comes out. We have like an artery or a vein on all of your favorite artists who have all these huge streaming records and, you know, blah, and, you know, all those huge things. I know Justin has like an Atlanta writer sometimes.
Right.
Pooh Bear.
Shout out to Pooh Bear.
Yeah, you got
Happy birthday.
Kendrick. Mike Will did
Humble.
And DNA.
And DNA, yep. Probably the two hardest songs
And
on the
like
project.
all Kendrick, but like those are some standouts. I can honestly go, if you name an artist, I can name like something that had to do with Atlanta. So I'm not downplaying the artist. I'm just talking about how I feel like we got like a bloodstream through the music industry right now. We have for like a decade. And so for anybody that's come under me or Future or Jeezy or T.I., it's about continuing to hold the torch and pass the torch without dropping it. Like I was able to pass it to the Migos or whoever, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in denial.
Right.
I was able. And obviously it was a pretty cool like pass down, you know what I'm saying? But like now you got to be careful like who you pass it to, you know what I mean? The torch is lit. The torch been lit since T.I. dropped trap music, since Jeezy dropped Trap or Die. It's been lit for our type of music to be mainstream. Yeah, to be mainstream, to be pop. And so we birthed Shorty Red, the Lex Lugers, the Southsides, the Metros, the Zaytovens, the Mike Will, the producers are the C notes, you know what I'm saying? It's like we do that. And then the same thing with the artists, you know, the Quavos and even the artists who I forget are not from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? They still, it's just about.
Like you'd be like, you know, like a lot of people don't realize Travis is from Houston or Little Uzi's from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
as long as you said it.
No, but that's the truth.
No, that's true. Like,
and I'm a huge fan of of Travis and Uzi. But
Uzi's lit. Travis on my album, and I actually got a song coming with Uzi real soon. But it's the influence we got. You know what I'm saying? It's the influence we got. People get upset with LA, New York radio, LA radio, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not such and such enough.
Right,
such and such enough. But everybody,
but everywhere you go, the radio's Atlanta enough.
Yeah, it is.
That's real. That's,
but everybody, you know how this thing go. Everybody gonna get a run. You need to figure out if you're gonna start to run in your area. You know what I'm saying? Who wasn't a fan of East Coast music? Who wasn't a fan of West Coast music and still is? And that was just a down south thing to where we've really figured out the formula to sell records, tour, get played in the club, get played on the radio. I mean, like Future's one of the best song makers we got out of the city. You know what I'm saying? Like,
100%. Shout out to Future.
Thug is a great song, maker. I got
people don't realize Future came from Dungeon Family.
Yeah.
Like,
so you've been around. You got that cloth. You got that fabric. So, respect the city. I'm
an old head. You're an old head. Do you do you rock with Yachty's music? Because it's my son's favorite. He's my son's favorite rapper in the entire world. My son's 11 years old. I always tell people, look, man, it's not for me. Like, I don't have really anything negative to say about dude, but like, he's got some records here and there, but it just seems like, he's, I don't know, man. It's unfair to me, like when guys like Joe Budden kind of gang up on him, and it's
Yeah, I don't have a comment on that. It won't like.
Have you talked to him? Like, have you met
this conversation?
He's like the nicest kid.
The conversation that I just had with you have so much substance in it. It won't be taken away by some headline saying how I feel about a young brother that do the same thing I do. So I don't have no comment on it. I don't have 11-year-old. My oldest kid is 8.
Right.
And she's a female and she listens to Every Day We Lit and everything. And both she listens to I'm broke. She's like this. That's
straight
ain't Lil Yacht. She sang Drake part on both and all. You know what I mean, and all that. But for the most part, man, I'm not here to criticize anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you must be doing something right. Like, I know I'm getting criticized right now on the internet. Somebody that ain't got a leg to even stand on. You dig what I'm saying,
100%,
man? So like, find you somewhere you can get in and fit in. You know what I mean? That's some West Coast talking.
Straight up.
That's the Ant Banks.
Yep. Shout out Ant Banks.
Yeah, man. You need to just come out here too short. Yeah. You need to get in where you fit in. Fool.
Hey, man. So like, I always feel like, your personality's so lit. And I'm glad that you did the GQ thing, the most expensive shit, because it kind of gave everybody like it showed everybody a side that people who are around you kind of already know about you. But I think that those episodes are hilarious, man. Is TV or movies something that you like care to further pursue more seriously? Because I think that you could kill it. Like, I could see you hosting your own TV show or some shit. Like,
yeah, the most expensive shit episode I think got picked up by a network, so you'll be seeing.
So that's gonna happen. So
yeah, that's gonna happen, and they have to take care of me too.
They have to. They can't get someone else to host it.
Yeah, I was trying to tell them that, and
like, who else? Yeah, like, come on.
Nah, we're going to make it happen. It's going to be beautiful, and I'm going to shine. And then as far as a movie, the cliche, rap rock out of movies, but I actually wrote a movie that I'm in, and I wrote a movie that I'm not in, and a particular company picked up on the one that I'm in. So
you're going to be either to the big screen or to the Netflix screen soon, I'm assuming.
Yeah, everybody got a story to tell, and it should be interesting.
Did you take acting classes?
I am.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I am.
Because, a lot of rappers...
I'm definitely not opposed to it. I'm not about to get out there. And I respect the art, too. So
that's
California's a place where people really aspire and do that. So I don't want to, like, look at somebody's dreams and step on them by just, using my platform, my success, and my bankroll. You know 100%. What I mean? So I feel Samuel L. Jackson and whoever else that like be tripping
some type of way about.
Yeah, but we have successful, because we're in front of a bunch of people. It's not a hard transition.
It's an easy transition.
It's like
and it makes
you got
sense for the movie companies.
You got football players that play basketball. They just wait till the season over. You know what I mean? I think Ludacris is an ill actor.
Great
I think
actor.
50 Cent is an ill actor. I think
T.I. cool.
T.I., Tyrese,
Ice Cube.
Cube is excellent. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%, man. Who do you like? You talk about California, man. Like when you first get to Cali, what is your routine, man? Who do you hit? Where do you pull up to? Do you go to the dispensaries? What is your, when you get to Cali, who's like that one or two people in your phone that you got to reach out to and tap in with when you hit the city of LA?
I call my homies Amp and Tune. I call Dr. Dina, who got and Jason. They got a dispensary. What is it?
They got the dispensary.
Yeah, dispensary. And that's really all I need is a dispensary. And I call Katanas and let them know I want my seat that I'm normally in.
Right.
And if I don't call Katanas, I call Nobu and let them know I want my normal seat.
Got you.
And if I don't call Nobu, I call Catch. You get where I'm going with.
These are where I have to take. I have to take me and my girl just moved out here, so these are restaurants I have to take my.
Yeah, and I love. I'm a luxury lobster eater, but I just kind of chill out. I love LA, man. It's just something. It does something to you. I did majority of my album out here. You feel more. I don't know. The weather's beautiful in Miami too, so I don't know what it is. It just Cali just
everybody's in LA too now.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody's here.
I think that might be my answer for my next interview.
Right?
Everybody's here. Everybody's here now, and that was probably.
It's either here or Atlanta, really.
That's true.
Like, there's not a lot of rappers in New York anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's everyone has migrated to LA.
New York is it's a beautiful place, but it's so many restrictions. It's so many police that you can see, and then they got
there's a lot of potential for catching a case or just falling into some bullshit.
God, they got all these police that you can visibly see, and the rest of them undercovers.
Yeah, the hip hop police.
Man, we pulled up smoking at a club, fam. The dude stood in front of the car and said, "Come on, you got to be kidding me." He pulled a badge out of his shirt.
Regular looking dude.
This man looked like he in line.
Oh, wow.
My homie on parole, he like, "Bro, you gotta save me." So I get out first while he pulling the whoop-de-whoop out the other side of the truck. I get out and just meet it. "Sorry, sir, no disrespect. I just went gold today." Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because something happened, and I smoke when I ain't celebrating, but I just kicked it to him like, "Bro, this is what I'm doing." Guess what he tell me? I already know you. I already know you. Congratulations. But you knew. I said, "Man, listen, man. This is no disrespect to you, but I told him I don't drink alcohol, right?" So I said, "I can't smoke in my room. I can't smoke in the park." I said, "I pay this driver all this damn money. I said, I don't smoke in the car on the way. Can't smoke in the club.
You know
what I'm saying?
Anywhere
I can't do anything." I said, "Bro," and and it's crazy because how the law is set up. I have a medicinal card, but it don't work in certain areas. So they, and he respected that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't disrespect him and say, "What smell?" You know what I mean? I kept it one. All right, bro, bam. This is what's going on. I'm happy, man. I'm celebrating. I ain't bothering nobody. That's the thing. I ain't bothering nobody. And I don't really do all the drugs. So this me. Like, it's other drugs that people can do in your face. You don't even know. It's just this gas I got.
You smell it.
It's reeking.
People could be coked out of their brain. You wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, speaking of gas, the first time I ever smoked cookies was with you in Vegas. I think it was the first time I ever took you to Molly Mall's. Do you remember when we went to Molly Mall's house and the monkey was jacking off to the Curious George DVD?
Yes, he had a DVD player. He had a.
I tell that story all the time. Nobody believes me.
He had a monkey that was really getting to know himself in front of.
He had a mini DVD player with
Shout
a
out to Molly Mall. Molly Mall been had it, been having it, been capping, been having like a zoo in his living room.
Oh, yeah. Before you saw him on TV and before he was putting out records, he was that dude in Vegas. No, but what are you smoking on, man? Because there's so many flavors now. There's the gelatos. There's just so much, man.
I'm back on Kush. I'm burning out. That cookie sometimes give me a headache, and gelato is capped up a little bit.
Burger came up here last week and he gave me like the most insane flavors of marijuana, like Skittles.
I like a little Skittles. I partake in Skittles.
Something that smell like blueberry waffles.
I ain't got time for all that. But
so
I think you can't go wrong with OG Kush. I got a song on my album called OG Kush Diet. And I've been on the OG Kush diet for like
some years now.
A few years now. And I'm doing well. It's working out for me. I'll probably put out an OG Kush diet workout plan on how you can, you should smoke when you get up and eat. Smoke after that, I'll probably tell you step for step the OG Kush diet plan. But That's me.
Yo, I always feel like I said earlier, man, I feel like you don't get a lot of props, man. You're definitely an underrated MC, man. That's what kind of drew me in to you as an artist. Was I always thought you said the flyest shit in the flyest way.
Thank you, bro.
You know, like straight up, like, and you know, whether it's having guys like, you know, Raekwon hop on records for you, or shout out to that Static Selectors record you did, that Smoke Break. That shit was crazy. But I'm curious, man, like, what are your top 4 or 5 albums, your favorite albums ever, man? Because I you know, I know you're like a hip hop head.
I know, I'm
you know
hip hop to death. Yeah, I love.
I think a lot of people don't maybe know that about you, even though you've done so many records that would.
I'm hip hop. I'm hip hop. Yeah, I know people don't know that. I think it was Jay's Black album that's ill. He had a lot of ill albums.
Of course, Black album's incredible.
I want to say. Well, when you talk about Ray, you got to talk about Ghost, so you can talk about Only Built for Cuban Links.
Of course.
So Wu-Tang had their era. Then Nas had like It Was Written,
Illmatic. It was
and
written.
Illmatic. Those was hard. And then you can't forget about like with Chronic, and then the Doggy Style from Snoop on the West Coast.
I always tell everybody Doggy Style is the best West Coast album of all time, in my opinion. In my opinion.
Like when you hear how they were all in the studio, just a lot of good vibes and a lot of good minds together. It'll be hard to duplicate the feel of that, of the fabric of that album. So shout out to the OG. And you know, I like I don't know, like I like Biggie and Pac. I like
What's your favorite Outkast album? I'm a huge
I'm a huge 3K fan, so
because I feel like Outkast, there's 2 types of people. There's Aquemini people or ATLiens type of people.
No, I definitely like ATLiens, but I like Aquemini too for the growth.
Right? They just took
I like how they still was able to do their thing over new sounding instruments, and so that helped open the doors for people like, you know, myself.
100%, man. Well, look, the album's coming out June 16th.
Yeah, Pretty Girls Like Trap Music.
Pretty Girls Like Trap Music.
Make sure you stream it, man. They got us on this stream now, so like a lot of my friends.
People gonna be able to go buy it. I don't even see what's crazy. I don't have a CD player in my new car. They just don't make them with CD players.
But some people do, and we have to realize that some people do. You know what I mean? Like the iPhone 7, it doesn't have an auxiliary, cord, and it's like. Now you have to, Bluetooth. So for me, I am putting out physical copies. You will be able to purchase a CD if you need it, and even vinyl.
Oh, there's gonna be vinyl. It's got to be the pink vinyl. Would be crazy.
Come on, man.
That would be the vibe.
Before you think you thought of that,
of course, it's coming.
It's the one came up.
Coming. Come on, man.
It's like, oh, we should have. Yeah, nah, that's an effect. And so you know what I mean. Shout out to shout out to Bootleg Kev. Shout out to
all day, man.
LA, the West Coast, they've been supporting me since day one.
I do have to ask before you go, just as a fan, I'm a huge good music guy. Is there ever going to be? I mean, how many? I know that there's a ton of records we've never heard, but the Cruel Winter, is that coming?
You know, that's a yay question, bro. Like I can't
But I'm assuming you're like on
a bunch of records,
but we just don't know if they'll ever come out.
Bars too.
But man, look, I heard a song that I wasn't supposed to hear called Trash Bags. It's probably like 5 years old now.
Oh my God, we did that the same night. I did that the same night. Did I do a verse to that?
Yeah, I heard it.
I did a verse to Trash Bag. I think the same night I did a verse to Mercy. I did about 4 records that night. Like,
there's the pink vinyl.
There's a pink vinyl. I just showed them a picture.
Yo.
Look how great your ideas are so good. Bam.
It's like
just popped up.
Beautiful, man. Well, yo, go buy the album. Hopefully we'll get a Cruel Winter project.
Yes, we need that.
We definitely need it, man.
Got some rapping ass dudes over there, boy.
100%. 2 Chainz.
Shout out to Sean, Pusher.
The whole squad.
The whole squad.
Sahai
just sent me a song last night. Let's get it. That's a rapping ass dude.
That's a rapping ass dude. That's underrated.
What?
Come on, man.
He's one of my
favorite. Him up here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sahai's ill, and he's from Atlanta.
Of course.
And he's a Virgo. So
it's lit. 2 Chainz. We appreciate you, brother. Let's get into this new record though with Travis Scott, man. Why don't you introduce it for us?
This is, I don't know, my second, third single.
Third
I'm not
single?
yeah, off the album.
Third-ish single.
Yeah, but it's called 4 a.m. It's produced by Murder Beats, who's doing his thing. Salute. Keep
Murder
working
Beats is
hard,
killing
boy.
it.
It has Travis Scott on there. You already know
Let's do it.
The boy on fire, man. Let's
He
get
is
into
on
it.
fire. Sell this
Yeah.
over hip hop. Real 92.3. Hey.